When people hear Caroline Calloway, they think crime. It's really strange that when you Google my name as a law-abiding citizen, the people who come up are like Anna Delvey, Billy McFarland, Elizabeth Holmes, literal criminals, like are synonymous with my name. So what, have you ever been canceled?
No. So the last time we spoke,
Flower hair.
We did flower hair.
Those yellow flowers.
I went out to dinner with him after.
You went home and you were like, "Dear diary, I'm never gonna let that interview see the light of day."
I think some of it finally will.
In early 2020, I interviewed Caroline Calloway on the floor of her West Village apartment a few months before her first book, Scammer, was supposed to publish.
Since I'm mic'd up, we should really have like a jinx moment where I just like forget my mic is on and I'm like, scam them all.
Years passed with no book or air date.
I'm messy, but like I do clean up my messes, you know?
And it's been a little messy.
I'm Caroline Calloway. I'm 23 years old and I live mainly in Cambridge, but sometimes in New York.
Caroline's internet fame started off as a fairy tale, an American studying in Cambridge, England, documenting her glamorous adventures via long, novelistic captions on Instagram. Caroline racked up over 800,000 followers, landed a six-figure book deal, and became a star of the early Instagram era. But instead of a dazzling literary debut, there was controversy.
This time last year, I'd already been canceled once.
In late 2019, Caroline's former best friend, Natalie Beach, wrote a tell-all for The Cut. Natalie said she'd ghostwritten some of Caroline's earlier Insta captions and did significant work on her book proposal. Natalie also revealed Caroline had bought her followers early on. Caroline's admitted to buying followers and acknowledges Natalie's involvement, but says Natalie took advantage of their shared history.
I gave Natalie like a market that would eat up intimate details about me because sort of like the Kardashians, like once you've ingested so much information about my life, you're sort of like, for better or for worse, I have you hooked. You know, I just think we're really okay with hating thin, pretty, young girls with a bunch of followers on Instagram because we think their lives are really easy and we kind of want to see them fail. Influencer, scammer. That's a great word. I mean, as I said, I would click on those articles about me. Like, it's such a juicy word. Can we hide? Would you like to hold him?
I'll put him down.
Now we are meeting in Sarasota.
Yeah. You know, when I moved here, I threw my passport in the ocean. Yeah, I threw it in the sea because I told myself I wouldn't leave Florida until I'd made 10 books.
Look at this little hat. It's gonna be a loud pop. And that's all I learned at Cambridge.
I don't have any government-issued ID.
What is your life?
I can't buy alcohol. I've actually pulled up my Wikipedia page and been like, look, Wikipedia's not lying. I'm 31, okay? Yeah, and that's worked 100% of the time.
Caroline spent the last few years trying to correct the record with what she says is the truth. She finally released Scammer in June, 3 years after its original publish date.
Were you a scammer?
Yes, but I don't think you'll like why I think I am. I think I'm a scammer for lying on my Cambridge application. I think I'm a scammer because I named my first book that, and it's a memoir, so like the word is now a part of me. And I think I'm a scammer because I was a liar in my early 20s, but I guess I just feel a little defensive copping to the term because I just think there are people out there who will like clip me saying like, I'm a scammer, and like they'll just repost that. I just hate how unfairly I'm judged for things that I think a lot of people have done. Yeah, I think I'm pretty famous now. I'm like, did you read last month's Vanity Fair? I feel good about this level of fame for like where I'm at now. I think I'm very good with conjuring fame out of thin fucking air, and I hate when people are like, well, at least like Natalie's article was so good for you. And it's like, no, I handled that the best way it could have been handled. I've created fame before. I've done it since. I could have really done without that betrayal and that public humiliation in my life. I'm still now undoing the harm to my reputation as a writer that she inflicted on me.
Do you think that the maybe like chances that you got to get it right, did you have any privilege at play there?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm white. There's pretty privilege. I just sometimes feel like people who really want to penalize me for existing in a privileged body, I sometimes feel like they're exorcising a kind of anger and hatred that isn't really about dismantling racism, for example. But I also don't think that like hating me does anything productive.
We just think of women who want fame and money and power as a little bit evil, and I want all those things, and I think I should be able to claim those desires with as much confidence as a man would.
Do you still want those things?
Yes, I absolutely want fame, money, and power, but I realize now that I actually think I'm doing a disservice to women by talking about that. But a woman who wants to be a famous writer, people almost stop listening after famous. They just hear famous. You're just this attention-seeking, attention whore who just is shallow and wants fame for fame's sake. Like, I want money because I want to be comfortable and I want to be able to make the best art possible. I want power because I want my art to be taken seriously. When I die, I want to be remembered as one of the great American writers. I want people to dress up for Halloween the same way they dress up as Frida Kahlo. Like, I want it to be like flowers and hair, Siamese cat stuffed animal, white dress, blue ribbon.
Would this be here yet if Natalie didn't come out with a book?
No. No.
Oh, I'm not surprised about the timing of Scammer. Caroline has always been extremely good at marketing herself.
Caroline self-published Scammer in June, days before her ex-friend Natalie Beach published her own book, Adult Drama, a collection of essays including an expanded version of her viral 2019 essay about her friendship with Caroline.
First and foremost, everyone's had a terrible friend breakup in their lives, and I think friend breakups can hurt more than romantic breakups. A misreading, perhaps, or just like a way of viewing the world that I take issue with is that Caroline and I are somehow linked, like, cosmically, and when one of us succeeds, the other one will necessarily fall. That's just not how it works. I don't follow Caroline on social media. I don't read what she writes. Our friendship is over. We are not good for each other. I have no regrets about how things went down in 2019. I wrote that essay to the best of my ability, and then I got, the great honor of being read widely, and I get to live in this beautiful house with my partner, my personal life, and like where I am right now. I'm super happy. There's not a single part of me that wants to be famous. It's really good.
Are you happy?
No. I've never been happy, though. Like, my life is the life. It's totally in service of the art.
Do you think that the internet will always be tied to your fame?
Yeah, and I want it to be. I just don't think that a sentence like typed by thumbs into a phone screen is like inherently worth less than that same sentence like printed in a book, whereas I think lots of other people carry that bias. I just love the internet and it's part of my art, but I don't think we really have a lot of writers who have the experience of being internet famous and being a writer. And I want to be one of the first voices in American literature that like really dominates that space.
When will you be ready to move on from writing about that period in your life?
When the Instagram trilogy is finished. I want to reclaim the writing that she took credit for, those Cambridge captions, and I want to create a lasting piece that will always stand as a response, and that's what I Am Caroline Calloway will do.
Then I find myself in the same spot as I did at the end of our 2020 interview.
You'll have to read Scammer to find out.
With Caroline teasing the impending publication of her next book.
What percentage do you believe that those two will be out by December 31st?
100%.